Hi there, my name is Shilpa Sekhri and I am a communication and a public speaking coach. And today in this video, I am going to share with you 6 mistakes that people generally do that you have to absolutely avoid if you want to shine in your public speaking. Okay? 6 ऐसी क्या मिस्टेक्स है जो जनरली लोग करते हैं व्हेन इट कम्स टू पब्लिक स्पीकिंग और जो आपको नहीं करनी है, राइट? एंड व्हेन आई से पब्लिक स्पीकिंग आई मीन जब भी आप 2 से ज़्यादा लोगों से बात कर रहे हैं, चाहे फिर वो आप स्टेज पे कर रहे हैं, चाहे आप प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हैं अपने ऑफिस में, चाहे आपको आपकी मीटिंग में अपना आइडिया एक्सप्रेस करना है, ओपिनियन एक्सप्रेस करना है. सो व्हेन इट कम्स टू पब्लिक स्पीकिंग ये 6 चीज़ें आपको बिल्कुल नहीं करनी है. ओके, Number one mistake that people generally do is lack of rehearsal. Okay, lack of rehearsal. Now, rehearsals are very underrated. I don't know why. Okay, we really need to give a lot of importance to rehearsals. When it comes to communication, when it comes to communicating with a lot of confidence and impact, the only thing which is extremely important is rehearsals, putting in the number of reps. Please understand why somebody is a better and a confident communicator than you. It's because that person is putting in more number of reps in their work. That person is putting in more rehearsal, right? And when it comes to rehearsal, you have to keep few things in mind. So after working from last 9 years, I have been working with people on their communication and their public speaking skills. And I have seen people rehearsing like this. So for example, the content is written on this page and they rehearse as if they have to read. So people rehearse like this. Look here. For example, if I rehearse like this. Good morning, everyone. It is so good to have you all here. Today in this meeting, we are going to discuss these very 5 important points. So people generally rehearse by reading things out, by cramming things, right? And that is not how we have to rehearse. We have to rehearse as if we are presenting in front of 10, 20, 100 people, depending on your audience. So you have to rehearse your exact tone that you will be using. You have to rehearse the exact energy that you'll be using. You have to rehearse your body language, your facial expressions. You have to rehearse the same way you will be delivering on that particular day of presentation or on stage. Right? So rehearse as if you're already there. Rehearse as if people are already watching you. Rehearse with full expressions. Rehearse with good body language. Do not just cram your content. Okay, rehearse it very well. Let me give you my personal example. So whenever I have to go for an in-person presentation or let's say a webinar, so for a 1 hour of webinar, let's say, I rehearse at least 100 times. Okay, as a public speaker, as a communication coach, that is the number of times I rehearse. That is the number of repetitions I put in my work. But if you are not a professional public speaker, if you are not an aspiring communication coach, then you don't have to really put in 100 repetitions for one presentation, but at least go for 50. Okay, at least go for 50. That's how you will become more impactful. That's how you look more confident when you present, right? So number of rehearsals, put in more number of repetitions, right? Point number 2. So second biggest mistake that we have to absolutely avoid when it comes to communication, when it comes to public speaking is using of filler words and non-words, okay? Now, what is filler words? Filler words are the words which we use because we don't get any other words. So I'm sure maybe you use a lot of so. I'm sure you have seen other people using few words like so this, so that, basically this, basically that, generally this, generally that, you know. Yeah, these are our filler words because we are not able to think of any other words, so we use filler words. And there are non-words. Now, what are non-words? Non-words are the sounds which we make. For example, yeah, we all make these weird non-words sounds. So people generally speak like this. I want to say this, these 5 points, yeah, these are the non-words. And let me tell you that if you use filler words and non-words, they are stealing all the impact that you can have as a communicator. So if you want to shine as a communicator, as a public speaker, make sure you do not use filler words and non-words, right? Point number 3. The third biggest mistake that you have to absolutely avoid if you want to become a great public speaker is speaking too softly. So let's say we have a scale from 1 to 10 when it comes to our volume, right? Just imagine we have a scale of volume from 1 to 10. And right now I am putting in a level 6 or level 7 volume when I am talking, right? But just imagine if I drop my volume from 7 to 3. This is how I will speak. I want you to experience this, okay? Hi everyone, I am going to talk about 6 biggest mistakes that people do, and we all have to avoid doing those mistakes. See, if I drop my volume from level 7 to level 3, was I looking confident? No. Was I looking authoritative? No. Would you believe in what I'm saying? No. Right? So if you want to come across as somebody who's more confident, somebody who's more authoritative, somebody who's an expert, right? If you want people to believe in you, then you have to have stronger level of volume. Right? A lot of people say that, Shilpa, a lot of students, when I tell them to speak in a little higher volume, they say, but I can't, this is my natural voice. No, you have to push yourself out of the mold, right? Because otherwise people are not going to consider you as an expert in your subject. So have stronger level of volume. Now, point number 4, right? The fourth biggest mistake that you have to absolutely avoid is speaking too fast. Now, this is again a biggest mistake that people do. Out of nervousness, because of lack of rehearsal, because you have not rehearsed your content very well, and because you have not practiced it very well. So you get nervous, right? And when you're nervous, you speak, right? You speak very, very fast. You speak as if you're giving mutual funds advertisement. The mutual funds are, I'm sure you have seen that ad, right? Mutual funds ad. Do not speak very, very fast. When you speak very fast with really, really high rate of speech, it again robs off your impact, right? So when you start your presentation, especially when you start a little slow. Start a little slow and then vary your rate of speech. Do not stick to any one rate of speech. Vary your rate of speech, right? This is the fourth point. 2 more to go. The fifth biggest mistake that people do that we have to absolutely avoid is putting a lot of content on your slides. Now, I am also guilty of doing this. Back in my college days, I used to present by reading from the slides. I used to have slide at the back and I used to read from there and then come back. Read from there, come back. And I'm sure a lot of people do that. We have to absolutely avoid that. Do not read from your slides. It doesn't make you come across as a great, impactful communicator. Do not read from your slides. And also put as less amount of content on your slides as possible. Do not put paragraphs and do not put big 100 words in your slides. That's the fifth mistake that people do that you have to avoid. The sixth one, the final one that we have to do is, yes, very important. I have taken note of it. The sixth mistake that people generally do is forgetting to make eye contact. That's the biggest mistake. Okay? Please make sure you make eye contact with your audience. Because if you do not make eye contact, people are not going to believe you. You're not going to make a bond with them. You're not going to make a connection with them. And if you want to become an engaging speaker, right? I'm sure we all want to become very engaging, right? Nobody wants to sound boring. So if you want to become an engaging speaker, make sure you make eye contact with people, right? And when it comes to eye contact, I have seen so many of my students, and I have seen other people as well, they do like this. So they read and they do make eye contact. For example, like this. I'll be discussing 4 points today, and in these 4 points I'll be talking about, and in these 4 points, the first point is this, and then the second point is this. Yeah, I'm sure you must have seen people doing like this. So they read something, they look up for a microsecond. They again start reading, they look up for a microsecond. Now, again, this is not the way you have to do. You have to lock yourself into that experience. You have to lock your audience into that experience. And how will you do that? How will you make your conversation engaging? By making eye contact. If you want to build a rapport with your audience, if you want to build a connection, a bond with them, you need to make eye contact with people. Right? So these are the 6 things that you have to absolutely keep in mind. These are the 6 mistakes that you have to absolutely avoid. And trust me, when you do this, when you actually don't do these mistakes, you will come across as an impactful communicator, right? Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, and let me know with which mistake could you resonate a lot. Let me know in the comments, okay? Let me know in the comments कौन सी ऐसी mistake थी जो आपको लगता है कि आप भी करते हो, और कौन सी ऐसी mistakes है जो कि आप अपने साथ टेक अवे कर रहे हो आज, राइट? अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो, देन डू प्रेस द लाइक बटन एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माई चैनल फॉर मोर कॉन्टेंट ऑन कम्युनिकेशन एंड पब्लिक स्पीकिंग. और अगर आपके कोई भी क्वेश्चन है कम्युनिकेशन से रिलेटेड, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग से रिलेटेड, डू लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट्स. ओके, लेट्स हैव अ कॉन्वर्सेशन इन द कमेंट्स, एंड आई विल सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वन. बाय बाय.